Welcome to Vision Plus and welcome to this senior for mathematics and complex numbers. We are now looking at division of complex numbers and we are on example 3. Example 3 says that we are given three complex numbers Z1, Z2 and Z3 and they're asking us to find part A, Z2 divided by Z1. So the solution would be for part A, that is Z2 divided by Z1 equals to, let's substitute what is Z2. Z2 is negative 8i minus 5 divided by Z1 which is 12 plus 6i. Our focus is always on the denominator. If the denominator contains two terms, that is the real part and the imaginary part, we need to get the conjugate so that we get rid of I. So the first step is getting the conjugate of strictly the denominator. This gives us a 12 minus, we simply change the sign of the imaginary part minus 6i. And this now gives us Z2 out of Z1 as negative 8i minus 5 divided by 12 plus 6i. Now we need to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. This is the conjugate of the denominator. So you multiply the numerator by it and also the denominator by it. That way we shall be in position to get rid of I in the denominator. Now the next step is simply multiplication. If you look at these numbers, they are a little big. So you need to press a calculator. Use a calculator to assist you press those numbers. So negative 8i times 12. Negative 8 times 12 it gives us negative 96i. Negative 8 times negative 6 gives us positive 48i. Then we come to 5. Negative 5 times 12 is like negative 60. Negative 5 times 12, negative 60. And then negative 5 times negative 6, so positive 30i. Positive 30i. Divided by 12 times 12 is 144. 12 times negative 6i is negative 72. So here we shall have minus 72i. 6i times 12 it will be positive 72i. 6i times negative 6. 6i times negative 6i it will give us negative 36i squared. And then we'll go on to simplify Z2 out of Z1 equals to, now we need to pick up formula. Collect the like terms. So here we have negative 96i, so negative 96 plus 48 plus 48. I suspect a square here. Yes, this one should be a square. Did we multiply? Yes, negative, this one should be squared, should be 48i squared. And then we proceed. So now the like terms become this and that. So negative 96, negative 96i plus 30i, yes, minus 60 plus 48i squared. Now put your negative 1 all over. This and this are going to cancel. So we shall have 144 minus 36, but I squared is negative 1. I squared is negative 1. So on adding negative 96i plus 30i will give us negative 66i minus 60 minus 48 out of 144 plus 36, and this gives us here negative 66i minus, because negative 60 minus 48 give us negative 108 out of 144 plus 36 is 180. So now from here we can go on to distribute the denominator. This gives us a negative 66i out of 180 minus 108 out of 180. And then we simplify. By 6 we get negative 11i. By 6 we get 30 minus 108 divided by 8, we get 4. That works. Plus 72. You can divide 72 by 8. 72 divided by 8. Yes, 9. We shall have 9i. Out of 32 divided by 8, we get 4. We get 4. This is a simplified version of the answer, which is the most appropriate. And now going to part C. I hope you have the answer by now. Let's see how to solve it. So part C, which is Z2 out of Z3, simply begin by substituting for Z2, which is negative 8i minus 5 over Z3, which is Z2 out of Z3, which is 4 minus 4i. Since here we have two terms, we need to get the conjugate of the denominator, which is going to be 4 plus 4i. And then we now say therefore Z2 out of Z3 becomes, what is Z2? Negative 8i minus 5 over 4 minus 4i. But we now need to multiply both the numerator by the conjugate of the denominator, both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. Now the next thing here is simply multiplication. So negative 8i times 4, calculator should assist you. Negative 8 times 4, negative 32. So here we shall have negative 32i. Negative 8 times positive 4i is like negative 32i squared. Negative 8 times 4, this gives us a negative 32i squared, because there is I here and there is I there. I squared. And then we go to 5. Negative 5 times 4, negative 20. Negative 5 times 4i, negative 20i. Then we divide by 4 times 4, 16. 4 times 4i, positive 16i. And then negative 4i times 4, negative 16i. Negative 4i times 4i, negative 16i squared. And then we simplify. On the numerator here, we have negative, that is Z2 out of Z3 equals to negative 32i, negative 32i, well, the like terms, minus 20i, and then minus 32i squared, minus 32, but I squared is negative 1. We are dividing by this and this are cancelling out. 16i minus 16i is 0. So we shall have 16 minus 16i squared, which is negative 1. 16, negative 16 is there. I squared is negative 1. Simply equal to I squared equals to negative 1. Then further simplify. What is negative 32i minus 20? Just say negative 32 minus 20. You get negative 52i plus, because negative 32 times negative 1 is positive 32, out of 16. Negative 16 times negative 1 is positive 16. So you shall have negative 52i plus 32 out of 32. And then we need to distribute the denominator and then simplify. So this here will give us negative 52i out of 32 plus 32 out of 32. 52 divide by with number 6. No. Divide by 2. Yes, 52 divide by 2. We get 26. You can simplify step at a time. By 2, negative 26i by 2, 16, right? 32 divided by 2 plus 1. 32 divided by 32 is 1. We can also further simplify this by 2, negative 13i by 2, 8 plus 1. Simply we could just say it 52 divided by 4. Yes. So this is the answer for the last part of this number.